Assalamu alaikum. The Lord's name was prevented by the mercy of Redeemer. I openly bear witness there is no God but Allah. And I witness that Muhammad is the last servant, the last prophet in Scripture. Allah. My name is Harun Ashanti, and I'm sharing today a presentation on food deserts with the hope of showing how we can bring back or connect the food desert concept with a concept we have in our community called Epcot. I would ask that during this little brief talk, that if you have questions, you hold them to the end so that we can shorten it here and not spend the rest of the day here. I can get through it. This program, the Family Bargain Project, was a name that I just came up with the name. But the purpose was to, when I first did it, was in response to collective buying, which was the idea behind the Epcot. We started this program in Connecticut, buying fresh fruits and vegetables for ourselves. I had researched the best sources to get them from, whether it was from wholesalers or distributors, whether it was from farmers or whatever. And I found out that in the cities and even outside of the city, the best place to get these things from is distributors. But if we can find distributors that get them from organic farmers or farmers that don't use a lot of chemicals, that's good. That's going to be hard to do. And most farmers, they don't grow all of the vegetables. They focus on maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 things. Because it's just time consuming. They may have soybean, corn, cotton. That's it. Some of them may have cabbage, sweet potatoes, and collard greens. That's it, 3. That's what I have found. We have, me and Fadai Salam, you get collard greens and sweet potatoes and watermelons from one farm. And he just verifies that I can't do much more than this. He got about 60 acres. All he does is collard greens, cabbages, and sweet potatoes. And they are good. Most of them, cabbage is good and sweet potatoes too. So anyway, we put this together, and the idea was to take it into the inner city, take it to the communities, into sections of the city that most people don't want to go into. Like businesses may be pulling out of. So we don't mind going in our communities. We've done it throughout the country. That's what this program is all about. As you will see, it looks like it's kind of farm-based, and it is, because everything that we start out with, fruits, vegetables, dry goods and stuff, comes from some farm and it ends up in some distributor. In this area, there's a group called MDV. They're the biggest distributors in the area. They distribute food for the military. I got a chance to get some stuff from them. And the other group is called the Banana and Produce House. And I have a contract with them as well. I've been buying with them for probably 7 or 8 years. So we do have some sources already. So getting fresh fruits and vegetables is a steal. We all need to eat more fruits, fresh fruits and vegetables.
Yes.
Okay, because as you're going to see, without it, it takes its toll on us. All right. The purpose, as I said, is to eliminate food barrier and a lack of access to supermarkets. The people who live here on this street here, 35th Street, 36, 37, 38, if you can visualize the food line over on Colley Avenue, there's one at Colley and 26, 27, 28th Street, somewhere around there, right? If you live over here, that's the closest grocery store to you. That's more than a mile. And if you don't have transportation, that's considered a food desert. If you live in an area that's more than 1 mile from the grocery store and you have no transportation, that's considered a food desert. Like in a desert, you know. And if you live maybe further back towards the bridge on Granby, and this is the closest one. You see how hard it is. And that's why you see so many people with their bags of groceries, either walking or catching the bus, calling a poochie, or trying to get a cab, or, you know, taking money out of their grocery money just to get to the grocery store. So this program is designed to eliminate those barriers by taking it directly to people's houses. And if we do that, it can be a deterrent for the way we eat. The way we eat is actually affecting our lifestyle. Our lifestyle habits is actually harming us. We eat too much processed foods, too much foods with sugar, too much foods with fat, and all that. And the problems are beginning to be, too many of us are obese, too many of us have diabetes or pre-diabetes, and high blood pressure, and on and on and on. This USDA's map is what they have considered areas that have food deserts in it. The highlighted areas, the colored areas are the ones that they've considered food deserts just in Hampton Roads now. And I can't zoom in, but Norfolk is in there, Portsmouth is in there, some parts of Suffolk is in there, Newport News, Hampton, I think a very small sliver of Chesapeake is in there. That's meaning neighborhoods that are more than 1 mile from a grocery store where people don't have transportation. You don't have a car, you gotta call somebody, or you gotta get a cab or something like that, but it's more than 1 mile to the grocery store. And that's what USDA has identified as food deserts in the Southampton Road area. We have found out that close to 31% of the children ranging between 10 to 17 are already obese and overweight. And you probably noticed that when you see some of our youth. Between 10 and 17 now. So the thing starts younger and younger affecting us, obesity and diabetes. And the likelihood of poor children, children with low income, is 2 times higher, twice as high for the children to be either obese or diabetic. And close to 24 million Americans live in these neighborhoods, low-income neighborhoods, that are without access to grocery stores. You know, and as we drive by, we don't really pay attention to it because most of us we drive. You can get in the car, you can go in somebody else's neighborhood spending money to get food. So we don't really pay attention to it. Virginia State is the leader in doing the study of food deserts in the state of Virginia. Virginia State College. 52% of obesity is in mostly low-income neighborhoods, 52%. And the reason is there are more of these. You knew it was coming, right?
Yes, sir.
The reason is more convenience stores than grocery stores. And we did a survey, we asked the convenience store, well, why don't you carry more fresh fruits and vegetables? And the only thing they could say, well, people don't want that. Because I think he had some apples and some bananas and grapes up there. He thought he had vegetables and stuff up there. And a lot of that didn't sell. So he said he didn't think that they wanted it. So what does he sell? High fat, high sugar, you know, foods that people want, fast, fried fast and all that. So this is what they give us, and they compete for space to get our money, the low-income neighborhoods. However, grocery shopping should be a fun thing. Some families have made it a fun thing. You see, to take the whole family shopping with you. And today, I was talking with my grandson yesterday. You see the different groups in our neighborhoods, and you don't even pay attention to the different ethnic groups. You got Hispanics, you got Mexicans, you got even some Caucasians from other countries in our neighborhoods now, even in the projects. But things are changing so fast, we don't pay attention to all those things. We just see some new people in our neighborhood because people are fleeing persecution and violence and all this stuff. They come in here and they find this is a heaven. So these people, you may see the whole family in Walmart, or you may see the whole family in CVS or the grocery store, Kroger's or Harris Teeter, or even Whole Foods. You may see the whole family there because they're making it a family thing. Whereas with us, we just one or two people may go on their own. As you can see, they have highlighted in Virginia what the rates are, and this dark area in the southeastern region is where we are. It's mostly almost the maximum. If you get 30%, which is your BMI, body mass index, that much obesity is in all of Hampton Roads. It's not just low income. See, people who even have money like it fast and convenient. So they have found out that at least 24% of the population in southeastern Virginia is either obese or overweight. You know, when Mrs. Obama was the president, first lady, that was her program. Let's move, get up and move, do more activities and all. That would help. Most of us are too sedentary today. We like sitting and staying stationary, and that doesn't help us. This is their food pyramid and all that. So we just put her in there because that program I thought was a good program to highlight. If we're talking about obesity and overweight, she's talking about the same thing. Again, millions of Americans in low-income neighborhoods and people of color, the moment they come out their door, first thing they see is fast food restaurants. And we know that our teacher pointed that out to us too, that we should be tired of coming out of our house and we see businesses owned by others as opposed to anything that we own. Most of the businesses that we see when we come out of our house are convenience stores. We don't see Dillard's, Saks Fifth Avenue when we come out of our house. You got to travel downtown to see Saks Fifth Avenue and Dillard's and the rest of those big stores. But when we come out, this is what we see, mostly fast foods. The Family Bargain Project, the food program, we started to fashion it so that it will work for 9 months in intervals. And why did I choose number 9? Because for us, 9 is a growth period. We can monitor our growth, that we're making progress. Every 9 months, we monitor the growth and see what kind of changes and improvements we need to make every 9 months. After the 9 months, this time, we're going to be introducing what's called ownership thinking. It's not, well, it's fairly new, but it's not really new. It's about, I guess it's about 12 years old. Some companies are beginning to adopt ownership thinking. The closest company I know of right now is a construction company in Newport News called Basic. They are 100% employee owned. Right? 100% employee owned. This concept promotes the same thing. And I'll tell you another thing, that's a little sidebar. Y'all familiar with CBN? Mm-hmm. With the notorious Pat Robinson, mm-hmm. Right? The 700 Club and all that. Mm-hmm. Well, here's a little history. It started with, he had a radio program in Portsmouth, and he wanted to expand. He asked for 700 committed volunteers to give $10 a month. He got it. 700 people. Dedicate yourself to give $10 a month to this program. They committed themselves to giving it. And the first thing they did, expand their radio program. The first program they put on was the 700 Club. The 700 Club became owners to the 700 investors. It is still their program from $10 a month now. From the profits of the 700 Club came Regency University. $10 a month. From that, they have the international footprint with the television. the ministry. They have television stations in almost every country because it's making so much. And those founders, 700 founders, are just enjoying the investment. So I said that to say it's an opportunity for us to do the same thing. We've been asked to do that a long time ago. We just haven't done it. And that's why I say I think I found something that I'm passionate about, that I can stand up and really tout, really fight for, whether people like it or not. You know, if for example, the Messiah came up with a really big plan, and we made it simple enough for people to invest in it, $5, $10. I mean, if you have to have a lot of people now, because you might need, say you need $100,000 a month. $100,000 divided by how many people? 1,000 people? You know that those 1,000 people, if they give you whatever it takes per month, $10, they should be the owners. Especially if you get to where you reach your goal. So the same thing with this. After 9 months, after buying together for 9 months, and we keep meticulous records of who's consistent and who's dropping out. If you're consistent with this program, just by doing what you would do anyway, I mean, buy your groceries. So if you decided to stop buying on Food Lion and start buying with this for 9 months, and we can see that you were there consistently, you will be given a certificate of what's called ownership. So whatever we acquire, you have a stake in it. Okay? You become a stakeholder. Something we have never had before. And I know that sounds like it's a distraction or slightly different, but it's showing that if we just start buying things together, what we can actually do and what we can actually have. I used the food program because I went to City of Norfolk Social Services Department and convinced the director of, I don't know what to call it, of the food stamp program to share this program with their people who get food stamps and stuff like that. She said, okay, let me try it myself first. I said, oh, that's a good idea. She did. I took her this big basket of fruits, vegetables, dry goods, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And she was, whoa, what am I going to do with all that? Because it was just that much. And I think she only paid like $40. More than enough. She had to give some away to her colleagues and workers. So she said, okay, here's what I do. I like this program. If you have a flyer, I'll make sure it goes into the envelope that we send out every month. Every one who gets assistance from us. And you have permission to go to any of the projects in this city to promote your program. She put it in, gave me a memorandum of understanding. I have one from Norfolk, Portsmouth, Suffolk. You ever heard of the Up Center? I have one from them. And they're saying, we have an audience that need this stuff. I know you do. Everybody got to eat.
Yes, sir.
Right? And so you can talk to our audience. Man, I was elated, right? I was excited. So we took the program to them and they bought into it. Thing is, this at that time it was like a public-private partnership. And a lot of agencies are kind of skeptical if you haven't got a big name already of doing public-private partnerships. You know, but if you come in like with a big name, like if Starbucks wanted to partner with the city, they know that name, so they don't have a problem with that. Hey, little old me, they ask, okay, well, who are you with? How, you know, all these questions and objections and stuff. And I convinced them, and they ended up buying it because they asked me to speak to all of their intake workers. They brought them in a room, and we showed the program to them, and they decided, well, let me try it too before we tell our people so. And they all got it, and they was excited. I meant to bring the letter to show you guys, but they all gave me a letter of memorandum saying that you can go to any project you want. We won't bother you. We won't alert the authorities. You can speak to these people. You can put your message out. You can have meetings and all that. And as I said earlier, we tried to get some of them to buy it, and they did. The biggest problem we saw was that young mothers didn't know how to prepare the stuff. They don't cook. They'd rather grab something convenient, something bean as opposed to cooking. So we partnered with Virginia Tech, Virginia Cooperative Extension as a part of Virginia Tech. And they have cooking classes that they set up in these projects for these mothers. To teach these mothers how to cook. They can taste it also. Right? Hopefully, if they know how to prepare it and they taste it and they like it, they will begin to adopt it. So, again, one of the purposes of the program is to prevent obesity and high blood pressure and diabetes and stuff like that. This again is obesity and healthy living. They say take your heart for a walk. Walking is going to be good for you. Me, I can walk, I mean, no jogging, a little ride on a bike, a little calisthenics, a whole bunch of stuff. But too many of us don't. You know, we know who we are. Right? But this is if you see Portsmouth in the little red dot, they're almost at the max, 30%. That's body mass index. This little area right in here, dark area there. Portsmouth, from what I know, only has maybe 3, maybe 4 supermarkets.
Is that right?
From what I can remember, only have 4, and they have a Walmart. Of course, Portsmouth is a smaller city, it's only like less than 100,000 people, population less than 100,000. But still, some people who live over on one side of town, they got to travel a long way to get to a grocery store. You know, if you live over on George Washington, there is a food line in there, but if you live on one end of George Washington, you're talking more than a mile just to get to the grocery store. So we hope to prevent health-related issues and show how we can improve our economic environment by doing something for ourselves. You know, it's long overdue if we do something for ourselves. And we can do it, we can start buying things for ourselves as well. There's a whole lot of genetically modified stuff out there. Tilapia one, just in case you didn't know, tilapia. Most people may not know, but tilapia is man-made. You know, it's the way it's bred and grown. It's like tampering. But there's a whole lot of genetically modified stuff. When you get watermelons that don't have seeds in them, when you get grapes that don't have seeds in them, stuff that don't have seeds in them, you know, it's been modified. They take your seed out of you, you've been modified. You don't want to lose your seed, right? So we want to be careful of genetically modified or engineered things as well. We don't know how it affects our health because it's too new. And these are some of the things that people take in to try to stave off illnesses, but it's too late. It's after the fact. We're suggesting that in order to prevent those things, I have found that if you do naturally, you have a better chance of avoiding that. We even do vegetable juicing. You probably do juicing. You know, juicing is not a new thing, everybody heard of it. Juicing is the best way to get what you need in your system fast. You know, it's the best way to get what you need in your system fast. So if you think about your health, juice that stuff. Get you a juicer, not a blender, a juicer. Blender will give you something like a smoothie. We don't want a smoothie, we want a juicer. Can you hold your question?
Oh,
yeah. The difference between blending and juicing, you know, one is like a smoothie, the blending. We don't want that. You don't want a juice just it's as smooth as this cup of coffee that we have. So if you can get a juicer, get you a juicer. Right? And put you some kale, carrots, red cabbage. Red cabbage is really good for, do you have arthritis? Red cabbage, they say is real good for it, but you got to drink it. You can't, just eating it like raw or cooked, it just takes too long. And you end up flushing it out because you drink a lot of fluid, like water. But if you can mix it in the juicer and get the juice out of it, it gets into your system immediately. And you're supposed to be able to feel something within 24 hours. That's vegetables. So, that was a part of our nutritional plan. This estimated prices for groceries for different family sizes per month. We came up with this by doing actual interviews. We asked the people in these target areas, well, how much do you spend for groceries? And so for a family of 1, 2, 3, 4 or more. And this is what we found. For a family of 1, a person may only spend $100 every 2 weeks. They don't eat a lot. $100 every 2 weeks. That's somebody that don't eat a lot. Right? Every now and then it would be 2 people. And I suspect they're probably real senior. 2 people, $100 every 2 months. I suspect they're real senior. They don't eat a lot. Right? But then you get down at the bottom, it's 4 or more. People spending more than $250 every 2 weeks on groceries. And $250 a day still don't get you a lot. You got 4, maybe 5 people in the family. But this is what they told me they spend in groceries, which comes up to be what? $18,000 a year in food. Now, if you're spending $18,000 a year on your food, how much do you make? Can you afford to do that? You got it like that. You're spending $18,000 just on foods a year. You know, that's a significant amount of money. $18,000. That's some people's job. And we tried to show the people in the lower income area that you have already the resources to change that. How do you change it? The state has a program for the residents, those who are motivated. It says, if you save $1, the state will give $2 to your account. If you save $1, the state will give $2 to your account. However, you can only use the money for one of 3 things. Starting a business, making a down payment on a home, or paying for some education. But that's good. They're 3 good options, especially business. So, why am I mentioning that? Because when they showed me that program, I said, well, now how can this program help them? How can this program help them? So, from this chart, they want to see, well, how can this program help those people? The Family Requirement Project, if at that time people were spending $49.95 for their fruits, vegetables, dry goods, and some other things, and that was enough to get them for 2 weeks. So actually you were spending, for the whole month, maybe $100. That sounds like a stretch, right? But here's the thing. When you realize you can spend $50 every 2 weeks to get all your fresh vegetables, fruit, dry goods like beans, rice, flour, stuff like that, maybe some soap, some detergent, tissue, toilet tissue, all of those things for $50. And you can do it by buying together, right? You see the savings they would have over a 3-year period as opposed to spending $18,000. And these are significant down payments on a house, $5,000 or more, or education if they have to pay for their education. Most of the time, up until master's degree, they don't have to pay for education. They got all kinds of grants and stuff for it. But they would have the money to either do a business, some entrepreneurial venture, a down payment on a home. $5,000 is a significant down payment. Okay. So we showed them this program, and again, the intake managers were so impressed, praise be to Allah, that they asked us to share this with the intake workers as well, so that they could in turn share it with the people who got the services. from social services.
The clients.
So we showed it to them and they began to promote the program for us. Now I don't expect that our group is gonna do more than be a part of a bigger group. That's all we're gonna be a part of a bigger group. Because within the first 9 months, here's what we ask every participant to do. If you decide to try this, and you like it, only thing we say, share it with your friend. That's it. If you decide to stay with it for 9 months, we're gonna keep records again. And after 9 months, whatever we can do, whatever we can get, because merchants, I have already found that if you buy from them on a regular basis, items begin to go down, which means you can get more, or you can keep the money. If you keep the money, then say we've managed to save us $200, and everybody may be able to get 50 cents the first time. And as it grows, because in Hampton Road, it's like 1.7 million people. All we want is 1%. How much is that? That's like 170,000 people. 1%, no, I'm sorry, it's like 17,000 people. 1%. 17,000, that's a lot. If you get 17,000 people to buy stuff together on a regular basis, you got some buying power there. You got some buying power. So we showed this program to them. They were very impressed, and they said they would share it with their constituents. And this is how it ended up showing the savings over a period of time. So for family of 4, out of that 18,000 that they would spend, it would save 12, almost $13,000 of that. So that's a significant savings as well. So this program, if let's say when we get to say 500 participants again, there are companies, the manufacturers, that will sell us items. My latest research, as I was saying earlier, is this thing here. It's a wireless AirPod for your iPhone. These things at Walmart cost between $159 to $200. My research has shown me that we can get them. If Best Buy has them, if Amazon and eBay can get them, I found out that I can get them. Just got to do research. Call the manufacturers. See if you can. I got this as a sample. You pay no shipping, but it is a sample. And it's working just as super as the $200 one. But we can get these for anybody who have phones for $60, $70, $80. You know, because Virginia already has a law in the books that they don't want to see you driving down the street. They just don't enforce it yet. It's already on the books. If they see you this or, they can stop and give you a ticket. So the best thing to do is free them hands up. But that's my latest project. So, to get $20 worth of purchasing power that you got in 1970, you got to spend $116. Because we know today, $20 will get you nothing, right? You go in any store, almost $20 come out with one item, maybe 2 items. And to get the kind of purchasing power in 1913 that you got for $20, it costs $257. 1913, you could spend $20 to get 2 bags of groceries. Today, you got to spend $257 just to get 2 bags of groceries. And tomorrow, it's probably going to be $300 to get 2 bags of groceries. Because the stuff is getting higher and higher, inflation, the cost of items and everything. We can solve that problem because we got so much to do. If we are reminded of our zakat shouldn't be going to the utility companies. Most of our money shouldn't be going to the utility companies. That's in the Quran. I mean, we're supposed to have monies for growth, and we're supposed to take care of the treasury, not the imam. Don't get me wrong now. If you want to give the money to the imam, that's not what the Quran says. Take care of the person who's managing money. But if we want to get rid of the waste in our community, we have to start doing things together. And we can start by buying our food stuff together from the black farmers who are just in the next state over in North Carolina. That's a really flyer I made, and it tries to address everybody. The working class people, people who just don't have time to do grocery shopping, we do it for them. I don't know if you can zoom in any closer to that. But we say, try it for 60 days. Try it for 60 days. If you like it, stay with it. And if you like it, just tell somebody else. Say, look, there's a program where you're going to save some money in your groceries. Join them with them because they buy in bulk. When you buy in bulk, you don't have to pay as much. Yeah, we're going to have these, I'm going to take you, go to the print store and get these printed out and have some here. Because the target date we're going to be starting is probably later, like August or September, something like that. So everybody have plenty of time to think about it, tell a friend, or even try. So the conclusion is the low-income households that receive their benefits, they have enough money to make a change. The state, the federal government is giving them enough money to make a change. In fact, the government is giving them billions of dollars a month. Billions. So see, the big companies pull out because they say there's no money in the low-income area. But the federal government, in that Title 19 program, spends billions of dollars every month giving it to low-income people. And not just, well, mostly low-income people. People who get those kind of services, they're considered low-income. And if you haven't noticed it, in the environment, you don't hear a whole lot about middle class anymore. It's because they're subtly phasing it out. It's either you have it or you don't. The groups that used to fuss about middle class, we can't get this, we can't get that, you hardly hear anything about them anymore. It's either you have it or you don't. This program is designed to bring low-income people up, or give them something that they've never had before. The fact that they can buy together and get more for their money and be a part of owning something. Something, it can be really big. It can be bigger than Walmart. Walmart's the biggest retailer, but it can be way big. It can be bigger than Amazon. All we have to do is buy together. That URL is under revision right now. FamilyProject@gmail.com. That's under revision. So if you go there, you may not be able to get in because we're revising the web page. But this is one of the goals. We should have this as one of our goals. To have some land. They talked about, this was talked about back in the Nation of Islam. In fact, we had farmland back then. Millions of acres of farmland. And, you know, if you know our history, you know what happened. But that's one of the goals of this program as well, to have our own land so that we won't want for anything from anybody else. Another one is to have our own club. BJ's, Costco, Sam. Why can't we have our own club? We can. All we gotta do is, it don't take a lot. You know, if you, again, every time I drive by CBN, the whole thing just hits me. The whole concept, how it got started, how it's flourishing now, how simple it was. 700 committed members getting $10 a month. That's not a lot. Right? So we can have our own club. And just think, if we have our own club and you are one of the owners, and whatever profits come, you get your reward just like everybody else. And you're going to get a discount on your stuff. Right? But that's not it. We also, the other thing that's going to hit it, right? Yeah, we can bring it in. We brought it in before. It's not new. We brought it in before.
Why would you?
Yeah, we brought it in as late as 70s. We bring in the fish, sardines, Chinaware, a host of things. So all I'm saying is let's revise those things. Starting simply with the food that we eat. Let's buy it together. Let's commit to not buying from other people before we see that we cannot get it from us. If we see that we can get it from us, let's get it from us. That's not asking too much. All right? So, and the program, that's Black Farmers site. The president is talking about what he envisions for the future of Black farmers and all that. They just got a grant since President Obama was in there. Because before the president gave them the money, they were shut out of the market. They were shut out of the market primarily because they don't use chemicals. Big industry, big agriculture, shut them out. Say, if you don't use our seeds, Monsanto and the rest of them, if you don't use our seeds, we don't give you no money. So they said, okay, keep your money, keep the seeds too. They give it on. So that's what that is. But this is what the Family Bargain Project, the Food Desert idea, to me, connects with all of that. We start with buying our food together, then take it to the next item, which like I said, it could be towels, it could be socks, it could be anything, shoes, computers, phones, whatever next item that people agree to. We can find a manufacturer to get it directly from the manufacturer, which would be cheaper. Right? And I was telling you that this was my latest research project, because when I was in Connecticut, I went to a denim manufacturer, that makes jeans, and they give you samples. You can bring the samples back and show it to people. We went to GE, the biggest product, it used to be the biggest product manufacturer in America, bigger than Sears. GE, everything that Sears sold was almost GE at one point. So I had a chance, because they had a manufacturing plant right there in Connecticut where I was living. So we went there, and they had stuff that they could give you a sample. We showed them to the people in Connecticut. So we knew that we wanted to get irons. If we had the volume, they would sell us irons for $7. Now, you might be able to get something at Walmart for $7, but how long would it last you? They may be able to sell us microwaves if we want a microwave. Towels, socks, linen, you name it, sheets, pillowcases, anything. But we had to have the volume. So that's what the whole program is, and that's what I feel passionate about. That's what I will be promoting, and I'm promoting it big out there in the community, because there's more people out there than here. And they have given me a good audience so far. So that's the presentation. I'll try to entertain any questions we have.
That's what you had to do. Oh, no. Is there any juice bars out here, though? Like juice spots out here?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, Military Highway.
Where? Near?
Planet Fitness, I think it's one of them.
I saw
It's like an Arby's over there. Straight from this Arby's, Shell gas, where Toys R Us used to be.
Okay.
It was
Juice?
over there.
It's called Juice Bar?
I believe so. Juice light bar or something like that. There's nothing in this area. That's 20 minutes away.
Yeah. Question?
This is this came the first time. He will come down. He will tell them how we start, and then he give you the name.
Okay.
I know everybody with Trey Sean Salzman.
Say it again?
Trey, I go by Trey. Trey Sean Salzman. I'm trying to figure out right now spiritually, so I'm looking at Islam right now. Nice to meet you.
Well, glad to meet you. Welcome.
We will get a Sunday at 1, Friday, July 12 at 1 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
On Friday.
And this is the treasurer. I'm just a worker.
We're all working. So
But one of the workers
is trying to learn.
One of the workers. Yeah. If you want to introduce him with the programs here.
I'll introduce myself. I'm Ismail Salim. I'm the treasurer. Maybe I can just go around and just introduce ourselves.
Well, no, I'm saying with whatever program we have in that.
Friday, as he was saying, is generally it's the most important day for us. So we do Juma around 1 o'clock for an hour. If you have any familiarity with like church or something on Sunday, it's their day. Maybe 12 o'clock, I'm not for sure, but for years, around 1 o'clock, depending on the daylight saving time, it can be 12 to 1 o'clock. And at this point, it's 1 o'clock. On Saturday, we have Arabic class. On Sunday, we have Arabic class. Or what time do we come in here? 10:45?
It's 11.
11.
It's the first and third Sunday.
And we have Talim, which is just building on knowledge, trying to learn as much as we can about the Quran. I don't know how much you know about Islam. You know what the Quran is? And
It's pretty much the religious textbook. That's like the Bible.
exactly, yeah. I just said that because I don't know how much you know.
I'm gonna have a decent knowledge of it. Try to explain it.
Yeah, so the reason we're studying Arabic is so we can learn it. You always get some lost in translation, so if you can learn as much as you can of the actual language, you can kind of get a better understanding of what the revelation was that came down. On Sunday, like I said, on Friday, like I said, it's Jumu'ah, so congregational prayer, and on today, around 1 o'clock, we always have some kind of knowledge base, whether it's on Islam or it's on like eating healthy. We've had some things for social, just anything that was with sociology or dealing with bettering society or bettering ourselves to help society. It's what we generally do. But you want to introduce yourself?
Sir, hello, Mr. Salamone. I'm so glad you're here. The thing is, I'm very glad to see a lot of youth coming in here lately because when you come, it's a lot of us older guys, and if we don't start getting the youth in, we're gonna die out, And so you coming here, my brothers over there, man, just glad to hear. The thing is, if you had today, it's a big step because there are a lot of younger guys, man, that's just like you that won't come in there. They're scared for some reason, right? They just don't know, so I'm just very glad that you're here, and hopefully you can start bringing some more, you can enlighten some of your friends with the stuff that you're learning, because you're going to learn a whole lot here, Yeah, and I could have went to NMSG here when I first started going years ago, but I'm very fortunate to come here, and this to me is one of the best massages, especially for black people, it's a lot of those sex things, man, SECTS, but here, this is home, man.
I'm a hard, I don't know what to say for
How long you been listening?
been Muslim since January 10th.
Yes, very, very new brothers there. How long you been listening?
I think month for a year now.
Year?
Yes, sir.
And me, I don't even remember, it's been so long ago. No, I was introduced in '69. So I had some years in the Nation of Islam, and we grew out of that. We grew up to the University of Islam.
Is it the fruit of Islam?
The men were called the Fruit of Islam, yeah. The sisters were called something else.
Yeah, the sisters were called MGTs, which was Muslim Girls in Training. And then we progressed to MWDC, which was Muslim Women in Development Classes. I'm Fatia, Sister Fatia Ali, and Assalamu alaikum. I embraced the Deen when I was right out of high school, as a matter of fact. So we welcome you to come and we hope and pray that you'll continue to come. It's good seeing you.
And if you do make it to the Arabic class that we have on first and third Sunday, we also talk about our teacher. We introduce people to his commentary, his explanations of the Quran and Islam and mythology and symbolism and racism and a whole host of things. W.E. Muhammad, Warthdeen Muhammad, the son of Elijah Muhammad, we discuss his commentary very frequently. especially on those days, first and third Sunday. The class, the Arabic class is from 11 to 12:30. Then we pause for the prayer. Then we go into his commentary and discuss that. So if you are not familiar with Marty Imam, you're invited to come to those sessions as well. I mean, with what he teaches and his explanations of things. So that's, any other questions? That's all I have.
I was gonna ask you about, I'm sorry. Good.
I went to the restroom, Brother Aaron, but I'm very interested in this. And I just want to know when you're going to have the website up and running, because I know people will want to access.
Sure, I had the website, it's under renovation now because I was with GoDaddy, they're the host. And for some reason they tried to jack me up for a couple months and I didn't have service and I decided to back out. So when I backed out, it just sits there languishing in, I don't know if it's the cloud or whatever, but it's just sitting there. So I'm looking for, I don't know if your sons do web pages or whatever.
I know somebody who does, my son's not.
Is that right?
I know someone who does. Sure.
Well, if we can touch base with them, I don't mind paying.
Okay.
But I want somebody other than GoDaddy, some host other than GoDaddy. So if they know something, they can.
So the website is already set up, you just need a host?
Well, it's set up, but I don't know if you can still access it.
Okay.
Because once you lose the host,
I know so I have a website, I have a couple of websites, and I use a friend of mine, a guy I grew up with as my host. I don't know how it is to move it from one host to the other, but I'll get in contact with him.
and even if someone knows how to start all over again.
He can definitely do that. I've done that on multiple occasions.
Yeah. We can do that too.
Okay.
But I had on there also that anybody who wanted to pay, they can pay online. I gave them an account because they have a bank account and all that. They can click on and order it right there from the website. Only thing is, you can't pick and choose. See, this program, you can't say, okay, I want 2 pounds of this, 2 pounds, like you would normally in the grocery store. This, we have to keep it simple initially.
Yes, exactly.
So we buy only things that are in season. And that's where you get an abundance of things. So you may have a lot of kale, more than you normally get, because we don't overburden anybody. You may have a lot of spinach, you may have a lot of broccoli, carrots, things like that, if it's in season. Because we buy most of what's in season. And everybody gets the same share. Everybody who participates gets the same share. That's equal for us. We get it in like at Fadger, break it down to all the participants, and we deliver it. So we don't need storage. We don't need refrigeration. You know, not yet anyway. Maybe in the future we may need that.
I have 2 questions. One of them was just about basic construction. You said that was employee owned?
No, I was saying after 9 months, after we monitor who's been consistent, we would then invite those people to what's called ownership thinking.
No, I was talking about that company in Newport News. You said that one specifically?
Company.
Yeah, basic construction.
Oh yeah. Basic construction is 100% employee owned.
Okay,
You familiar with it?
I'm interested in government that employee owns.
Oh yeah.
I was listening to lots of people talking about that. So if it's not, then basically you rent yourself out.
Absolutely. Google, eBay, all of
You
them.
don't own it. You rent yourself out, which is a form of slavery.
Yeah, and it's another company over there. It's escaping me right now, but Basic Construction is 100%. They have all of their advertising on the side of the truck and everything.
We service them, right? Service uniforms and stuff there, so I'm pretty familiar with it. But the other question I was going to ask was about if there was anything you could do, like, or we could do in terms of teaching men and women how to cook.
Well, only thing we can do, one thing I would suggest, I have contacts with Virginia Cooperative Extension, which is a part of Virginia Tech. They'll be more than glad to come in and set up cooking classes. we can do that.
I think, because right now, people are starting to at least think about eating healthy.
That's true.
Eating healthier. Like you said, juicing, people are trying to eat better, but I don't think about nobody cooking for it. Everybody's moving fast, like you said. If there was a way that we could cook, or have someone teach you how to cook, you know.
Or we can invite them to the rec center over here. They don't want to come here. Invite them, is that right? In what, 34th Street? 30?
No, I mean, right here, yes.
33rd, 34th? One of those.
Yeah.
It's just a couple blocks over.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll come there. They don't have to come here if they don't want. You know, but that's the only resource I have in order to try to tackle something like that. Just,
And then, you know, YouTube is so accessible too, you know. You can bring up a YouTube video on how to prepare certain dishes. I cooked some tuna steak the other day. I didn't know how, you know, I went on YouTube and, you know, found out how to do it.
here's what I think, a lot of young people ain't watching YouTube for that. You know they watch. You know what they watch on YouTube? They watch whatever movies are out there on YouTube. They're watching this group in Atlanta that makes these big cars. What's it called? My son like to watch. They take the old cars, fix them up, put big nice tires and rims on them, and make them real fast. What is the name of that
Pimp
program?
My Ride.
What is it?
Pimp My Ride, is it?
That might. That might be it. And then they got the girls with the Daisy Dukes on there. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not watching, the younger people, they're not watching YouTube for those type of things. But you're right. YouTube is very resourceful. You know, you can learn physics, chemistry, astrophysics from YouTube. But I don't think all young people are going to go to YouTube for that. So if we could steer their attention to those things.
Yeah.
I mean, if you harness a group of people
Yeah, harness a group of people
who
that
have
wanna do it.
expressed interest in,
That's all they're gonna take.
you do that presentation.
Yeah, well, the other part is that a healthy Portsmouth, I think it's called Healthy Portsmouth Committee. They're touting that everybody should have a garden. Good idea, but people are lazy. Garden takes work,
Yes.
right? If you don't take care of garden,
So let's-
the weeds, the bugs gonna take it over. What do you have? And then they say you can do it on your porch, patio or whatever. You still gotta work it. So I'm not against it. I just know that people, that, you know, got
It's
issues.
all in the education process, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's.
But you know, I wanted to mention about the, I know you mentioned about the juicing versus
Blending.
blending.
Yeah.
Now, I know there are benefits to both.
Oh, they are.
Because when you blend a beverage, let's say for instance, I blend blueberries and I use just different ingredients. But I'm getting all of it. I'm getting, like when I throw some kale in the blender, I'm getting the fiber, I'm getting all of it.
Yeah.
What the juicing is an extracting process.
Right, that's right.
So when I do the juicing, I'm just extracting all the juice.
You're extracting
From
the
the
inside of the plant.
Yes,
the vegetable.
yes,
Right,
yes.
That's right.
So the pulp is going to be discarded.
Mm-hmm.
But if I were to if I were to blend, like carrots for instance, sometimes I'll put carrots in my smoothie. So when I throw that carrot in my blender, I'm getting all these, I'm getting the fiber, I'm getting all the skin and everything with it, okay? So, but when I put it in my juicer is extracting the pulp, the juice
Extracting the
from
juice
the
from
pulp,
the
that's right. So I have to discard that wonderful fiber, you know, I mean.
Well, here's the thing,
there's no
you
benefit.
need fiber. Here's the thing, I was just saying that when you juice, whatever nutrients and vitamins you need gets into your system quicker than the fiber oil type. Fiber oil type has to break down. In your system, it has to break down. Good fiber is good, it just has to break down.
Okay.
But the juicing, it's just like this. Whatever's in here immediately gets into my system. You know, if it's caffeine, if it's herbs, most of them like, because we don't have money to cover people's checks. If if any money, if any check does not clear, we can notify the person of that check. Say, look, your check didn't clear, how do you want to do this? If from this point on, you have to pay cash. Because we can't continue to deal with this like this. So you pay on Thursday, we go and get it, or we order it on Friday, because they've told us that they need at least a day to prepare the stuff for us, get it together. We pick it up at Fadger Prayer on Saturday morning, take it to a central location and break it down to all the members who participate and deliver it. And clean up after us. We have no storage, there's nothing left over. Somebody saying, we all got 10 pounds of cabbage left over. No, we don't. No, we don't have nothing left over.
Yeah, because it's already been specified.
Everybody gets an equal share.
Now, online order, so you don't have to worry about that because it's credit card based, right? Credit card. debit
If it's credit card, yeah, but if it's a check,
Yeah.
you know, people who send us a check,
Yeah.
that Friday, we're going to the bank to deposit it, and I asked my bank, I said, can you run this check right now and make sure it
Yeah.
passes?
Mhm.
You know, and if she said, well, this one is insufficient funds,
Mhm.
okay, give it back to me, and I'll call the person and say, look, your check didn't go through.
Mhm.
How you want to do with that?
Now, that ordering process, I mean, I can envision an online deadline. Okay, I gotta get my order in online by Thursday.
Any order, not just online.
Okay, so, how would you get the paper orders by the deadline? Is there a central location? Forms are disseminated? I mean, how does that process?
I had 3 locations that was collecting monies,
Okay.
because they trusted the people that they go to, like, for example, Central Services. There was a lady there who would collect the money from the people who get food stamps.
Mhm.
And then I just go to her and collect the money.
Okay, so.
They would bring it to her,
Mhm.
and then I'll collect it from her.
Okay, now, is there some type of order form that you would provide?
Well, since it's one order, it's not where you can pick and choose,
Okay,
there's no central order. You'll have a flyer to see what's on there. Like that flyer that we showed. You'll have one of these. A flyer.
okay,
And that just shows that the things that are in season.
okay.
So you would get some of all of that, not where you can say, okay, I want 5 pounds of this, 2 pounds of that.
Okay,
You gotta get the same amount that everybody else get. So you don't get it, initially, you don't get a chance to choose.
okay. So how is it determined what's going to be available for that particular?
Whatever's in season. And that's promoted with so many different things. Farmers Almanac, buy local, buy fresh group. Most farmers can tell you what's in season. And we have access to all that. And we only buy, we only get, we might get some oranges
Mhm.
that comes in from Florida, but they don't grow oranges here.
Mhm.
Right? And they may not be in season here,
Mhm.
but they growing there. We might get some pineapples. We don't grow pineapples here.
Mhm.
And they're out of season. But we know that that's a fruit that grows in that part of the world in that season.
Okay, so when I give my money for 1 week, for a particular week,
Purchase, or ticket to purchase.
yes, will I know at that time what I'm going to get on Saturday?
You will know that you will get some of whatever's in season. Okay, as opposed to being able to say, okay, I want collards, kale, spinach, cucumbers, carrots, okra, romaine lettuce.
Yes, I understand. I can't do an individual order. I understand it. But I want to know, how will it be communicated to me what is in season and will be distributed that week? Will it be known?
Well, here again, you can check with Farmers Almanac, Buy Local, Buy Fresh. There's just 2 big groups that publish these things.
Mhm.
You can check with the United States Department of Agriculture. They have the web pages as well, like I showed you. And they put on that page things that are in season. USDA, they have a list of fruits and vegetables. And I think it's like standard.
Okay, so let's do a hypothetical now. I'm low income, okay? I'm low income and I'm part of the digital divide. I don't have access to a computer. I mean, seriously, you know?
Okay.
I'm low income, I'm part of the digital divide. I don't have the computer at home, but I want to participate. I want to save some money, you know? So this week I want to give you the money for the fresh produce.
Okay.
So I want to know, you know, how is it going to be communicated to me what I'm going to get on Saturday? Will it just be said to me verbally
Well, you
that
would have
we're
a
just
flyer.
getting in season? You're just going to get some in season produce.
Pretty much.
Right now, we don't know exactly what that's going to be, but we'll have it for you on Saturday.
Pretty much. You know, apples we can get all year round, right? We know we can get apples all year round. And other things we can get all year round. There are certain things that we can't get all year round, so we may not get them. So in that flyer that we had, it tells you what we can get, what's in season. So if apples are in season, if we bring in bananas, if apples are in season, grapes, onions, cucumbers, lettuce, tomatoes, peppers, celery, cabbage. It's a lot of things that are always in season.
Right.
And you know, you can expect to get some of that. Collards, they're not, I had to tell people, that, you know, collards is not a year-round vegetable. It's a fall vegetable. But people love collards. I said, I want me some collards, man. Where you get some collards? I said, well, this is summer. You don't get collards in the summer. I mean, the store may have them, but they have them sitting in the refrigerator for about 6 months. You know, it starts in the fall and grows throughout the winter. Not all of the winter, but it grows into the winter. But Food Line and Kroger, they get so many of them, they put them in their freezer and keep them cool, so they put them on display throughout the year. People think that you can get collard greens throughout the year, but you can't. So you would have a list of things on that flyer that are in season and expect to get some of everything that's in season. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Came in a little late, but, so this is like every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks,
that
yes.
we give the money to, and, every 2 weeks. And, is there a, I don't want to say contract, but let's say, you know, I understand you said that when you're gonna do it, when you first start out, there's a little time period, whatever, and you see if you like it, whatever. But am I under a contract if I decide after 2 months or 3 months, I said, okay, well, this ain't gonna benefit me from it, you know, I can just back out and it's no.
No contract. We would hope that you don't back out because the main idea is for us to start doing things together, but there's no contract. We're going to do all we can to make it pleasing to you and worth your money that you don't back out.
I'm so sorry, and how much was it?
$49.95
Every 2 weeks.
every 2 weeks.
How much?
$49.95 every 2 weeks. It's enough to last for 2 weeks because you're talking about your fruits, your vegetables, dry goods, and some other things. That's like $50 for 2 weeks.
And we come somewhere and pick it up, like I said.
No, we bring it to you. We deliver. We deliver. Yeah. See, that's the good part about this program. Doesn't mind going into the hood. Some grocery stores have pulled out of the hood. That's why we got food deserts, because they have pulled out of the hood. Now we're going into the hood. And this has been our history, even from the Nation of Islam. You know, the brothers have a history of going into the roughest neighborhoods in our communities. One thing that stands out that you may have heard about, they're even studying it now at VCU, how the Muslims in the Nation of Islam went into the most notorious projects in Chicago and turned the whole thing around. Cabrini Green. You heard about it?
Yeah, it is.
The notorious Cabrini Green. It was so bad, residents were almost afraid to come out of their blocks until the Muslims went in there. But Cabrini Green was not the biggest one. There's one called Robert Taylor Village was bigger than Cabrini Green, but Cabrini Green was notorious for what it did. So we want to take it bring it right to your door. Just like they're trying to do, the thing with most of these places that say they deliver, first there's a minimum that you have to purchase with them before they deliver it, like Walmart or whoever. There's a certain amount that you have to purchase with them before they deliver.
Again, the volume.
I guess it's volume. I guess it's volume, but if you're spending like $50, I don't know if they will deliver. They want you to buy groceries
Oh, okay.
before they deliver.
Okay.
Yeah, because it may not be feasible to them to deliver so many people who just spend $50.
Okay. So when are you going to, when should we?
Launch.
To meet again, launch? What's the next step?
Well, I'm revising my relationship with North Portsmouth and Suffolk and the Up Center. So I'm giving myself a little bit more time. I just had to put this out to let you know that it's coming. And I'm thinking probably August, September.
Okay, you just,
Yeah, August, September. We're going to do our first purchase. And from then on, we'll measure it for 9 months. Follow the people who've been consistent. Meticulously follow them. And we'll keep records. And for those who have been records, after 9 months, we'll introduce what's called ownership thinking. Okay? And like I said, I have contractors, distributors who are willing to, once you get to a certain volume, they give you things, they reduce pricing on things, which is a savings for us, like a bigger savings. So you're spending, instead of $49.95, you might be spending, by that time, you might be spending $39.95. And you are now a part of ownership of something. So if it gets to this point, or when it gets to this point, that we do that, you know you're ownership now. You may not want to get out there and do no work, but you know that.
I do it.
Right. Yeah, you at least you know you're ownership in 100 acres.
Yes.
when you brought that up, I went back to, the Muslim couple who already have the farm in, what is it, Bay, Virginia?
North Virginia.
Yes. And us being able to support them and their farm efforts, which are already underway.
I don't know what their farm efforts are. It would be good to know
Yeah.
how we can plug into it.
Yes, exactly.
But in the meantime, if we don't, you still have to have a backup plan. If they're raising animals, which is a good thing,
Yes.
we know that we can support them by buying their animals. Okay, that's one thing. That's one way. If they're raising goats, right? This is one way we can buy directly from them.
Yes. I'm looking forward to being able to visit.
You know, and still now, we have to have it in our hearts to own some land too. Even if we're going to support them or support the black farmer, we have to have a sense of independence, and you get independence from owning your own.
Well, okay,
And it's nothing against that. It's nothing against any other group, but it's nothing like having your own and doing something. Because if you have, say you get 500 acres, 700, 500 acres, don't you know today there is still an opportunity to grow one thing and ship it throughout the world? You know what that one thing is? Take a guess, anybody. Soybean. If we had 500 acres, we could send soybean to Cuba. I met some people with the Import and Export Department here in Washington. They'll tell you what countries we can import and export to, what they need. Those, what they call third world countries, need a lot of stuff. So we're just sitting around with an opportunity, not even that the other ethnic groups haven't even thought about yet. The only one that's doing it right now, I hate to say, is the white man. That's the truth. I mean, you got to give him credit when he's doing it. He's doing import and export. But we did it, so all we're doing is revising. You know, Chile, Peru, Morocco, China, we had relationship with those countries. All we're doing is talking about revising those things. But if you got 500 acres, and you grow nothing but soybean, you got an opportunity to import that stuff to a third world country, low income country. Because soybean is very, very resourceful.
Okay, well, I'm interested, I gotta go now, but keep me posted, Brother Aaron.
Thank you, and may Allah bless us all. Question? Yes, sir.
I can't say I'm very interested in this project, so I want to see
At home.
this is different.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Well, we say that we thank Allah for this session, and if there's any thing that we said that violated any of our religious principles, then forgive us for that. And if we said anything that is of benefit to us all, then may Allah bless us for that as well. And with that, we'd like to close by saying, Assalamu alaikum. May Allah bless us for all.
Appreciate it.